Terry McLaurin's going to be traded before the season starts.
Oh, I bet.
Debo Samuel is fatter than he's ever been.
I bet.
Noah Brown, again, we have no idea what happened to him.
Thinks he
Might have died.
I
His
guess
leg
he
might be
died.
amputated.
Yeah,
Brian Robinson's never gone over 800 yards in his career.
that I agree with.
Austin Eckler can't run more than 15 miles an hour. And Zach Ertz is the oldest man on the field at all times, no matter what's happening. What's up, guys? I'm JJ.
I'm Javier.
I'm Jack.
And this is PM Football. Today we are going to be going through the teams that we think are pretenders for this upcoming season. We have a team for each conference, one AFC, one NFC, and then we're also going to throw in a surprise team in there.
Yeah.
So why don't we kick things off with you? Who is your first pretender for this season?
I would first like to say, just because we have you as a pretender, that doesn't mean we don't think you're going to have a good regular season.
Yeah, good
By
way to throw it in
pretender, we just simply mean we don't really think you have a realistic shot at the Super Bowl. That's simply what we mean. With that being said, my first pretender is the Green Bay Packers. Again, not saying they're going to do bad in the regular season or anything. I just think they don't really have the ability to make a playoff run this upcoming season. Their biggest signings in the offseason were Aaron Banks and Isaiah Simmons. Now, don't get me wrong. I do like Aaron Banks. I think he's solid. But if your guard is your biggest
Upgrade.
asset in this past offseason, I don't really think you drastically improved. And Isaiah Simmons, I mean, you should know. I would say,
I was about to say, if that's your second biggest
that's what I'm
addition,
saying,
if that's your second biggest addition, that's sad.
they didn't really make any splashy moves in the offseason to improve, other than Aaron Banks. But like I'm saying, if your guard was your biggest signing, I don't think you improved that drastically. Jordan Love, to me, is one of the more overrated quarterbacks in the league. Not saying he's not good. I'm just simply saying I don't think he was worth the $220 million that he signed. And I know it was the timing with the market and all that, but still, I think they drastically overpaid for what he is producing on the field. Like I said, they didn't really improve from last year. Their first-round pick is Matthew Golden, which, don't get me wrong, has potential. We talked about him. We like him a lot. But was something we said throughout this draft process with him. Yes, he shows great route running ability. He shows that he could do this, this, and that. But the productivity wasn't quite there like we would have liked to seen it. And yes, we blamed it a lot on the quarterback, but I also think some of it could have had to do with him.
And I think a thing you would definitely say is I don't think he is, even though he was a number one, I don't know how much of a number one you would really want him to be as an X.
I think he could develop into a number one down the line, but to allow him to come in and think he's just going to blow everyone away as an X receiver, I think that's a little unfair to him, and you kind of jumping the gun there if you think he's about to just come and blow away the league as an X.
Especially with the receivers they have.
They have talent. They don't
and
have
it's
a
not
number
even
one.
just that. The players are very similar to him already.
Exactly. So for those reasons that were just said, I think the Packers are pretenders for this season.
Who's your number one pretender?
My number one pretender is the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh.
Didn't see that one coming.
It's not just because I'm a Giants fan. When you really look at the roster, Dak's coming off of an injured year. Everyone knows how Dak's going to perform. They're going to, if they get to the playoffs, they're not doing anything in the playoffs. The running back room was a huge question mark. Javonte Williams, Jaden Blue. Who knows what they're going to get with those two guys? I know they added George Pickens. I like the receiver room. I definitely like the receiver room. But I just don't think. I think they're going to be casual Cowboys. I think they'll make the playoffs. They're going to lose in the first round. I don't see any reason why they improve significantly. I don't think they improved a lot, and having, like I said, an injured Dak coming off of last year, I don't believe in him. I don't believe in that Cowboys team, and they also have a new head coach in Brian Schottenheimer, who I also do not believe in at all. I think that was the wrong hire for them. They should have gone outside the organization. Obviously, they haven't had a lot of success. So hiring your own offensive coordinator to be your head coach, that itself put the Cowboys back a little bit. And I don't know. I don't think the Cowboys are going to have a great year. I just don't think they're going to.
You're giving them a lot more credit than I am.
I was going to say.
I don't think they were going to make the playoffs at all. I think, if anything, they got worse, in my opinion. Like
I still think they're a playoff team, but I just don't think.
I only have them winning 7 games this year personally. Like, I don't have many high expectations for them at all. Personally.
I just think that they'll make the playoffs. I just don't think they're going to do anything in the playoffs. But I still think they have a lot of talent. But like their defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
The corners are really. You have Micah Parsons. Your corners are really good. Your secondary is just good in general. So I still think they're going to make the playoffs, but there's just no reason why they're going to do anything in the playoffs. There's been nothing evident that shows me that they can.
I think 7 wins is a little disingenuous. I think they're a little bit better than 7 wins. But even if they were to make the playoffs, like to your point, you're naming all those good players that they have already. None of them have been in the playoff situation.
And even the players that have, like, your starting quarterback have shown
He couldn't
they
win
can't do anything. Like, I don't understand why a lot of Cowboys fans are just so bent on, like, Dak's the guy. Like, he's had 10 years to show you he can win
Exactly.
playoff games, and he hasn't done it. What's going to
I
change now?
was just talking about that with the Cowboys fan yesterday, about how Dak has had 10 years. Like he was talking trash about Jay Cutler and the Bears, and how long Jay Cutler had
It's literally
to make
Dak
the playoffs,
Prescott.
and it's the exact same
It's literally
scenario.
the same. Trust Way,
Jake,
Washington starting punter, has more passing yards in NFC Championship games than Dak Prescott.
I was gonna say
That's a real stat. Like that, you've had 10 tries to make any significant moves in the playoffs, and you haven't done it. Washington's punter comes in for one play and has more yards than you. Like, what are we talking about? And I'm supposed to sit here and think you're the answer? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
I just can't believe that I don't know when they're finally gonna stop believing in Dak, but
It
it's got to be
blows
coming
my
soon,
mind.
or else they're not gonna get anywhere.
I said before, I don't know why we're dragging it on this long, but I said a couple years ago was it last season or 2 seasons ago, before they signed him to an extension.
Was it before or after the injury?
It was
ankle.
definitely before
It was
the
before
injury.
last season, right?
I think they signed him on the day of week 1 of last year, right?
Well, then it was after the injury.
No,
Because
so-
when he snapped,
Either
when he
last
snapped
year
the
or
ankle.
After the
I
ankle?
think it was a couple years ago. I said they should just trade away Dak Prescott, because you're gonna get so much in return for a guy you know cannot win it, at least in Dallas. Maybe he can elsewhere, but in Dallas he cannot make any significant wins in the playoffs. They didn't listen. Of course, they're not gonna listen to me. I'm not saying they should have, but they kind of should have. Like, you're in the exact same situation now. You owe him so much more money, and you got nothing in return. It's just the same cycle with them.
Yeah. Moving on to my first pretender. Now, I'm going to start off hot. I'm going to say the team that I've been saying the entire of this offseason that I'm down on is the Chiefs. Now, I know it's crazy to say
Classic
that a
Bills
team
fan.
that
Classic Bills fan. That's
has
correct.
gone to a Super Bowl, 3 out of the past 4 Super Bowls?
Oh, no.
Something along the line. They've been to a lot of Super Bowls in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Now,
6.
why would one say that the Chiefs are a pretender? Let's go back to their free agency. Their biggest signing in free agency was Jalen Moore, the left tackle from the Niners. They signed him a 2-year, $30 million deal. And they also brought in Jerry Tillery because they lost Tershawn Wharton to the Panthers. Wharton had 6.5 sacks for them last year. Jerry Tillery has had 12.5 sacks in 7 seasons.
He's already been in the league for 7 years.
Yeah. Last year was his 7th season, has 12.5 sacks. It's a 1-year deal for him, but that's a player they're bringing in to compete, to take over the reps that they're missing from Wharton. And then the other 2 biggest free agency pickups they had, Gardner Minshew and Bailey Zappi. Players that you are hoping never, ever
Solid
see the
backup
field.
QBs.
I like Bailey Zappi.
Solid back.
Guys you are hoping never touch the field,
He killed us when he played us at ODU.
regardless.
for like
Guys that
300
you're hoping
yards.
never touch the field, right? Because if they're on the field, there's a big problem, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you'd rather have Mahomes in than them.
Yeah, but you can't say that Mahomes isn't going to be on the field.
All I'm saying is 2 out of the 4 biggest free agent signings they had were 2 quarterbacks. And then they brought back Kareem Hunt, Juju, and Hollywood Brown, who were all on the team last year, and they played okay, I guess. Kareem Hunt had a
They're
good...
getting Rasheed Rice back.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll see.
Maybe.
Pinned in.
Could get
And
Henry,
then-
things.
could get Henry Ruggs too.
Could get Henry.
Henry Ruggs might return.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, forgot about that.
He'll probably go there.
Why is he going to the Chiefs? I mean,
They
we
like-
know
they-
he's going to the Chiefs.
He's their type.
But
Go to the Chiefs.
and
He's
then
their
they
type.
go and lose Joe Thuney, who was their rock on that offensive line besides Creed Humphrey?
And Trey Smith.
Trey Smith is a dog.
Trey Smith's also good. You
He's
lose
really good.
Joe Tooney, and the left tackle position is a big question mark. They have the Jalen Moore signing. That's who they're hoping can come in and be their left tackle. Then you go to the draft. They draft Josh Simmons, bring in Omar Norman Lott. Those are the two positions I was just talking about that they need to upgrade the most. Josh Simmons had injury history. That's why he fell in the first. I think he's going to be a good player, but he has to show it and see if the injury is really a problem and see if he can adapt and be that same player he was before the injury. And then they draft an undersized defensive tackle in Omar Norman Lott in the second, who has production in college, but he's an undersized defensive lineman, and that only really worked out for Aaron Donald. Can you really name another small D tackle?
That worked out.
Yeah.
Well, no, and I'm including Ed Oliver. No.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Ed Oliver was the 8th pick in the draft, and
Yeah.
he hasn't really
I
lived
said
up.
he's solid, but like, yeah.
Now, this gets me to my points of why I think the Chiefs are pretenders. Their offensive line. From left to right, they're starting Jalen Moore, or it could be Josh Simmons. We don't know who's going to win that spot. Mike Caliendo is moving in place of Joe Tooney. No matter what you say, that is a drop-off. Like, no matter how good Caliendo plays, he could be really good this year. He's not better than Joe Tooney and never will be better than him. They have Creed Humphrey, really good player. Trey Smith, really good player. And Jawan Taylor, the guy that lines up offsides every single play, and they never call it.
I was gonna say, I think left guard and right tackle are really the only concerns in that line to me.
So an entire side of the offensive line.
No, left guard, right tackle, I would say.
So you think Jalen Moore, Josh Simmons are going to be okay?
I think Jalen Moore, isn't he already pretty good? Isn't he?
No.
Like,
He was like a
He's all right.
backup for the Niners.
I thought he started for the Niners.
He started a couple games last year because they had injuries when Trent went out, but he wasn't
boy Trent.
great. But regardless, going back to even the Super Bowl, what killed them in that game?
The O-line.
The O-line. And they've gotten worse.
Well, okay, you have to understand who they were going against in that
Fair
Super Bowl.
point.
Okay.
Fair point. And one, they got there in the first place.
Uh-huh.
Two, they, like he said, like, who are they going against? An extremely
The best D line
good,
in the league.
Not just D line, that defense as a whole, like, man, that was a scary defense.
Did they do that to you guys?
The D line, yeah.
How many sacks did they have in that championship game?
That's different. Jaden's more elusive. I'm not saying he's a better quarterback than Mahomes, but he is more elusive than Mahomes. But Jaden was running.
Who was a better offensive line?
When healthy, the Chiefs.
And they still got
They weren't
messed
healthy
up.
though.
Who wasn't healthy?
They weren't. Creed Humphrey had to play left tackle. Not Creed Humphrey. Was Tooney someone? Their
Tooney
left
played left
tackle. Tooney played left tackle,
Yeah.
right?
But he had
that's
been
what I'm
playing
saying.
left
Not-
tackle for
not
half the
Creed Humphrey.
season.
I got them confused. Not Creed
He'd been
Humphrey.
playing left tackle half the season, though.
But regardless, that's not his natural position. That's what I'm saying. Like,
But it wasn't like they just threw him into left tackle. He'd been playing it for half the season. Regardless, I think the offensive line is worse than what it was last year, and they didn't improve it. Like there's just no improving to that team on the offensive line, at least. Secondly,
that was only the first.
that was the
one?
first one.
Oh my!
This one's quick.
God.
This one's quick. This one's quick.
Oh my god!
The corners. Now Trent McDuffie, stud.
Dog.
Christian Fulton. Okay.
He's one of my breakout players this year.
Oh,
And then their nickel is Shamari Connor.
Oh, he's awful. He was awful.
Who do you think is the tallest player out of the three of those?
so what does height
Probably
have
Connor.
to do with this?
Shamari Connor's the tallest.
But why does height have to do with this when you have an absolute dog at corner one?
Look
Regardless of
look
the size.
around the AFC and see what other teams have done. They've built teams to have tall receivers to go and match up against the Chiefs. The Bills have done it with Keon. The Ravens did it with D-Hop. They signed D-Hop this year. The Bengals already have it with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. The teams around the AFC are noticing that, and they're going to use that to their advantage. The tallest corner is their nickel corner, who is going to be on the tight end a lot of times.
That's if you could even get the ball out on time, because that D line is nasty in Kansas City.
Huh?
Kansas City's D line is nasty. So
They
the
lost a guy
corner-
that had 6.5 sacks for them last year. And
They
they didn't
still have their
They
best
replaced
defensive
him with a
lineman.
guy that has never had more than 3.5
still
in his
have their
career.
best defensive lineman, who is one of the best defensive linemen in the
Chris
entire
Jones,
NFL.
I agree. But he
Karlaftis
also
is
had
still
Trishawn
really
Wharton with him last year.
Karlaftis is still really good. They still have Nick Bolton, who's really good. Like, they still have pieces to that defense that are really good.
And then the final thing, their schedule is the 11th toughest in the league. And for the 6 of their first 9 opponents are against teams that made the playoffs last year.
And how did those teams do in the playoffs compared to them?
The Eagles are one of them.
Okay. Yeah, so that's one.
So all I'm saying is 6 of their 9 first opponents are against playoff teams,
Okay.
and 10 out of the 17 are against playoff teams.
I think you can say all of this. This has all been being said throughout Pat Mahomes' career. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs have Pat Mahomes.
Thank you. That's literally all they need.
And Pat
That's literally
Mahomes
all they need.
Could go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks.
I think he is
Could be
already.
the-
I think today, like at this moment, July 1st, 2025, he is the second best quarterback to
Yeah.
ever live.
I would say he's the second best right now. He
And
could be the best.
could move to first by the
Yeah.
time he retires. Like, yeah, yes, what you're saying is true for the most part.
Yeah, because every year
But you know
they
what
say,
else is true? They have Patrick Mahomes.
every single year they say that there's not a lot of talent on that roster,
and it doesn't matter.
but it doesn't matter.
'Cause
They're
they have
in the
Patrick
Super Bowl
Mahomes.
every year.
because they have Patrick Mahomes, and he just knows how to get the job done.
Did the teams and other teams in the AFC not get better this season?
I'm gonna be honest with you, it does not matter. Like it simply
Well,
doesn't matter. Like when you have Pat Mahomes, it simply
And it's been
does
proven
not
that it
matter.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter every year.
It's one of those people. There's a very short list of players you could say the same thing about Patrick Mahomes, where it doesn't matter about the other team. You could say about Brady, you could say about Peyton Manning, and honestly, I think that's basically it. Where it's like it doesn't. You could have the defense, you could have this and that. It doesn't matter because he's throwing the ball.
And that's fine. There's no. I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes is not one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. I agree. I'm giving you reasons as to why I feel this year it's not going to work out for them.
We're giving you reasons why you're wrong.
I just don't think
Like
I just don't
15
think
is
they're
throwing
that
the
good.
ball.
That's fine.
That's all they need.
So when you say they're a pretender, you think they're not making the playoffs?
No. I didn't say that.
He already said they're
You
not
already
making
said
the
they would
playoffs.
not make the
Yeah,
playoffs.
That was my bold prediction, yes.
but you still believe they're not making the playoffs.
This is my bold prediction, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I just, again, 15 has the ball, and your team has been a
And my
victim
points
of-
to
it
that-
more than anyone.
My
so-
points to that, though, were last year they won 14 games by less than 3 points.
Keyword is one.
Yep.
That's my whole thing. Like it doesn't matter how you win or how much you win by. Did you win? Yes. That's all that matters. And he does it every single, literally since he first stepped on the field in the NFL. That's literally all he's been doing. He hasn't had it down here. He didn't have a shaky start. Like no, literally from the beginning, he was the best player on the field from the very beginning. There is absolutely no reason, in my opinion, why all of a sudden that is stopping this season.
It's gonna.
But like, why?
I just told you.
Everything you said could have been said
No.
last year and the year,
Year
before
before.
that.
No.
And the year
Why?
Before. Yes.
What? What?
I
Did
promise.
they
you,
have Tyreek Hill last year?
No.
And
What
he
is
was
your
he was
point?
the guy that was like, oh, Tyreek Hill's
Yeah,
carrying
great
Tyreek Hill's
point.
carrying Patrick
Who said
Mahomes.
Would
that?
you say Travis
so many
Kelce
people.
looked like the old?
It's Travis Kelce.
Would you say he looked like the old Travis Kelce?
No. But
And they still have
they
Travis
had
Kelce.
they
still,
had
like,
They still have
Worthy.
him.
They have Worthy. They had.
So they still
they still
have
have
weapons.
him.
They
Yep.
still have a really good D line. They still have studs at linebackers. Like they still have things around. They still have Andy Reid coaching them, the greatest offensive mind in the NFL. Like they still have all these things that made them successful in the first place. That's not even bringing up the guy that got them there, Patrick Mahomes. Like even if you don't include him, they still have so many of those pieces that got them to where they are today. And then you include, oh yeah, by the way, one of the greatest people to ever touch a football is still throwing the ball for them.
Because didn't Mahomes get hurt one year and like no he got hurt in like
Like
a
a
game
playoff game,
and
yeah.
Chad Henne came in
Yeah.
and they played horrible, right?
Yeah.
for a quarter.
Yeah, and they were playing terrible, and that just proves how
he's
much he
that-
means to the team.
They were up by 24 points and they didn't throw the ball. They ran the ball the entire game. And they were stacking the box.
There
and
was
they couldn't
definitely a
move the
time
ball.
where he got hurt and he came out of the game and they just played horribly. I don't know. If
It was against the Texans.
Yeah, I don't know if I think it happened more than once though.
My thing is like it doesn't when your quarterback is Patrick Mahomes, it doesn't matter. There's no need to over complicate things. There's no need to like, but this move. Like, do you have Patrick Mahomes? Yes, you're probably gonna win. And it's as simple as that. He's one of those players where it's like, you're on my team. There's a very good chance we win this game, and it's like that for every single game.
All right. Who's your second pretender?
Do you want to
Is it
snake
you?
or go back to me?
Go ahead.
All right, I'll go. My
I feel like I've
second
talked
team,
a while for the past 5 minutes.
We actually brought this team up a couple minutes ago. The Houston Texans are my second team, and this disappoints because I like some of the people on the Texans. I love D'Amico Ryans. I like Will Anderson. I love Derek Stingley. Like, they have players I really like. I just think overall, I don't know. Like, they lost Laramie Tunsil, who was their best offensive lineman for years. Their O-line as a whole got worse. They have a new offensive coordinator, Nick Caley. He's a first-time offensive coordinator, and he's unproven. He was a tight ends coach last year for the Rams. Like, there's just a lot of things with them that is unproven and new, and I think that could go to hurt them this upcoming season.
Oh. I thought you were going to keep going. I didn't want to.
Those are my main. It's just so much new to that offense and team as a whole. Like, again, like, I expect them to still make the playoffs. I expect them to win their
Yeah, I
division.
was gonna say.
Like, I still think they'll win the division. I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll win 10 plus games. Like, I'm still expecting all the success in the regular season. I just think once it hits playoff time, some of this stuff that I brought up may come back to bite them.
I do agree with you that they won't be as good, but like you said, I still think they're gonna win the division.
Yeah.
But they're also in like a cupcake division.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and like I said in the beginning, just because you're on our list for pretenders doesn't mean we don't think you're gonna have a good regular season and make the playoffs. It just simply means we don't think you're gonna make a playoff run, and I don't think they will. Like, it's just a lot of uncertainty with that team, and I think that's gonna come back to bite them.
So kind of how you were talking about the Cowboys for Jack, saying how do you even consider them a pretender? That's how it is for me, to be honest.
Really?
I don't think they're even going to win the division.
Who's winning the division?
Who's winning?
I think the Jaguars are going to win the division. And I know that's asking a lot of
You
the
said
Jaguars.
the same thing last year.
I did. But now they have Travis Hunter.
They had the fifth
And
overall
a
pick.
guy that just showed Baker Mayfield, and people think Baker Mayfield is a top 8 quarterback, top 10 quarterback now.
I don't know.
He's a very skilled offensive mind. And if he can get that offense going, and if Trevor Lawrence can finally
But
play
that's
to
as
the
a
potential.
coordinator. That's
The only
very
point
different
that
than a head coach.
all I'm saying is to the point that I'm just trying to make the point that you said about the Cowboys. That's how I feel about the Texans. I don't really
Fair
view them
enough.
as a pretender,
Fair enough.
just because I don't think they're even that good. But I agree. If they do make it, I think I agree exactly with what you're saying. They could win the division still. I
I mean,
have the
like you said,
Jaguars.
it's a cupcake division.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I agree.
we'll see. All right, Jack, you got a second team?
All right. So my second pretender are the Buffalo Bills.
Uh-oh. Raggy.
I think the Buffalo Bills are pretenders because they didn't get any better. Number
Really?
one, they didn't get much better.
It's a lot different than much or any.
I'm sorry, they got Josh Palmer. I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
Josh Palmer, the new
What
Justin
was the
Jefferson.
biggest reason
The
that
new
they were
Justin
not good the
Jefferson.
past couple of years?
The receivers still aren't good.
Oh, you didn't want to answer that?
They're not.
So the receivers still aren't good.
No.
Your safety's still DeMar Hamlin, which all
No, he's
respect to
not.
DeMar Hamlin.
He's not.
All respect to
Oh.
DeMar Hamlin.
He's not.
And De'Aaron Forrest. Don't forget
He's
De'Aaron
not.
Forrest.
Cole
De'Aaron
Bishop.
Forrest, yeah.
Cole Bishop.
De'Aaron Forrest.
De'Aaron Forrest. They brought in an
It's Cole
injury-prone Joey Bosa, who's going to play 4 games
He's
this
already
year.
hurt.
It's Cole Bishop at safety, by the way. It's not.
Sorry,
DeMar
I'm scared of Cole Bishop. Sorry, I'm scared of him. Joey Bosa's playing max 3 or 4 games this year, so that's a waste of money.
It was, yeah. It was a downgrade from Von Miller.
Yeah, keep
honestly.
going. What else is bad on there?
Sean McDermott's a fake coach. He's not
Oh.
even like he's in the AFC Championship every year. What happens every single year?
Oh, it's
What
almost
happens
like the
every
exact same thing
single
I've been
year?
saying.
Loses to Kermit
What
the
happens
Frog.
exactly?
It's almost like I've said that too.
Loses to Kermit the Frog.
So they're pretenders because this year they're not even making it to the
Oh.
AFC Championship.
Oh, that's a lot
This
different
year
than
they're
what I
not
was
even
thought you were
making
going
it.
to say.
This year they're not even making it.
No,
It's
no,
gonna be
no,
the
no.
Ravens Chiefs.
Oh.
I have
like
the
that
Ravens in my
prediction.
Super Bowl.
We own
The
Lamar.
Ravens are in my Super
I have the
Bowl
Ravens
as
in the
well.
Super Bowl.
We own Lamar.
We'll see.
Well, you guys are also owned, so that doesn't really count. So
It cancels out. It's like PEMDAS.
Josh Allen doesn't have aura.
He doesn't.
You're not really giving very many good examples.
He's starting.
I mean, you can't really prove that the
Okay,
Bills
okay.
are going to be great. Like,
I
But has
wanna-
their defense? What has the defense not always been the problem? Right?
so it's still bad.
every
so
game-
it's still bad.
It's not.
It's still bad.
It's not. How's it bad?
Ed Oliver's not good. Joey Bosa's not
Ed
going to play
Oliver's
at all.
not good.
No, he's
He's
not that
okay.
good. He's not
He's
that good.
He's good. He's a
Daquan
good
Jones.
starter.
He's okay.
Daquan Jones is not that good.
Hopefully he isn't starting. It's going to be TJ Sanders.
Maxwell Harrison still has a lot to prove. Hasn't played a single game yet. He's going to be your starting corner.
He was injured last year as well.
Your linebackers are pretty good. I'll give you that. The linebackers are okay.
Greg
But yeah,
Rousseau had a breakout year last year and is improving rapidly.
Rapidly is kind of crazy.
He had 10.5 sacks last year.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not improving, but
I just don't see much improvement here. I just really don't. I really
Their
don't
defense
see...
is basically brand new.
all right. Look, I would like to jump in real quick. I don't think they're pretenders. I think they could make a run. I don't think they'll make it to the Super Bowl because I think it's the same old.
'Cause they
Bills.
never will.
Like, I kind of agree with you. Like, I think they're the same team from last year, which was the same team before
It's
that.
not, though.
Which was the same team before that.
It's not.
In what way, though? Like, in what
Their
way?
defense has been the problem
How
always.
how did the
Silly
defense get
us.
better? What?
We forgot Tre'Davious White is back.
He is.
We forgot Tre'Davious White is
how
back.
silly of us.
Oh my goodness.
Silly gooses. Silly gooses.
That defense is insane.
I mean, he's basically Trent McDuffie when you really think about it. He's
Yeah.
prime Trent McDuffie right now.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, but honestly, JJ, like, what is different this year? What is different this year than it was last year? Like, honestly. Like, I think you guys can make a run. I don't see how you make the Super Bowl. There's no difference.
How are you guys getting a ring this year?
Our defense is way better.
What makes your
okay.
defense way better?
What do you mean?
I'm asking you to clarify what makes them from this year to last year. What is so
Okay.
different that this
Did
year
Von
is so-
Miller play?
Okay,
Do
realistically-
you
You
remember?
downgraded
Do you
from
remember
Von
seeing
Miller
Von
to
Miller
Joey
on the
Bosa.
field?
You downgraded. Yes.
Von Miller
Because
hasn't been
guess
good
what?
for 3 years.
At least Von Miller.
Von Miller
played
hasn't been
games.
good. No,
At
he
least-
didn't. He didn't. He missed
Well,
an
guess
entire
what?
season.
So, all right, so you're equal because guess what? Joey Bosa's not playing.
Realistically,
games
the only people you added was Joey Bosa and Maxwell Harrison.
and he's already injured.
No, you're looking at starters.
Yeah, and
we
they're starters.
rotate defensive line the most out of any team in the NFL.
Deion
We have
Walker,
drafted-
unproven. Landon Jackson,
Yeah,
unproven.
you're relying a lot on rookies.
TJ Sanders,
really
unproven. AJ Epineza,
How does a
overrated.
player
Never been
turn
good.
They just are
Okay,
just
but like
automatically
down the
good.
line, you'd expect to get a ring relying on rookies so much. Like,
What did you just say? What did he just say? You just looked at their starters, right?
I'm looking at everything.
You looked at their starters,
the
and I
D-line
said,
depth
"Hold
is
on a
good.
second. You're missing a couple of pieces. The
What pieces
rookies
is he
that
missing?
aren't even starting.
Yeah.
They're rotational players."
But that's what I'm saying. He just said your starters, and he wasn't convinced by it. And then
And
now
then I
you're-
just said, "Hey, look it. We also have people behind them that are going to be able to rotate in the whole
But
game."
that's exactly what I'm saying, though. So you're expecting
But
rookies.
we're not.
So
We're
you're
not putting a
expecting-
lot on
So
their
you
plate.
believe
those are
in
the
Landon
same
Jackson?
starters.
We're not putting a lot on their
You believe
plate.
in
though.
Landon Jackson, Deion Walker, TJ Sanders. You think they're
Because
all
that's
going
really
to
what
be
the
great
difference
pieces
is.
to this
That's what I'm
D-line?
saying. Because that's really
They're
what the
complementary
difference
pieces.
is.
Yes.
But that's really
we
what the
didn't have that
difference is.
though.
Have you seen Landon Jackson's film?
But I think, but I think that's what goes to my point where it's like, yeah, those are new additions, but are those new additions that much better than the additions you had last year, which are rookie, like they're rookies that are unproven. You think they are significantly different than the pieces you had last year? That these rookies that weren't first round picks, other than the one who was injured last year, is going to be the difference between you guys losing to the Chiefs and beating them and going to the Super Bowl.
Huh? What you? I don't even know what to say.
We're speeches.
I don't even know what to say.
Speeches.
I literally just proved you wrong. You
In
just
what
said,
way?
"Oh, look at the starters. Look at what they got. They got this. They got this." I said, "You haven't looked at the entirety of their roster.
And the entirety of the roster is rookies. So
Yes.
that's what we're saying. Like, I don't think
They're not though.
rookies are-
They're not all rookies.
What are they? What are they?
You're gonna make fun of me again. We brought back Tre'Davious White. We did it. You
Like,
know
are
who-
you hearing yourself? Are you hearing yourself? Like, Tre'Davious White is the difference between you making the Super Bowl and not. Like, that's what I'm asking you. I think you're
think
the same team.
a grandma
I'm asking you what is
with
the
a
difference.
bad hip
And you
could
are-
play better corner than Kyrie Elam. So yes, anybody is a better upgrade than
Well,
Kyrie
guess
Elam.
what? Tre'Davious White has bad ACLs.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
he's
has no
still
ACL.
better.
He doesn't have
a
any.
torn ACL, Tre'Davious White is 10 times better than a fully healthy
And
Kyrie
he's
Elam.
still not as good as an average corner in the NFL.
Who?
Tre'Davious White.
Yes, he is. He played really well for the Ravens last year.
I
right.
don't know. I think you're very.
You actually
delusional.
lost a lot of D-line depth, actually.
Who?
You lost Austin Johnson.
Yeah, he didn't
You
play at
lost
all.
Quentin Jefferson.
Didn't play
You
at all.
lost
We signed him halfway through the season.
Jordan Phillips.
Pep signed him halfway through the season.
This guy was the biggest Jordan Phillips fan.
I love Jordan
I swear
Phillips.
he was
Doesn't
the
mean he's a
biggest
good
Jordan
player.
Phillips fan.
Doesn't mean he's a good player.
So do you think?
Oh, they got Michael
downgraded?
Hoyt.
Michael Hoyt
and Larry
How could we
and
forget?
Larry
Who's
Ogunjobi.
suspended for the
Larry-
first 6 games.
Exactly, you get
'cause
those
he
rookies
doesn't-
some
he's
prime
either
time
addicted
reps.
to drugs or doesn't know
You
how
get
to
those
not
rookies.
gamble.
You get those rookies some primetime reps, and then you have the
JJ,
reinforcements come in.
JJ, just tell me you can hear
They
yourself.
took those.
Like,
They took
just
the
let me know
steroids
you
on
can
purpose.
hear-
They
you
took
can-
the steroids on
can
purpose.
Can you at least?
It was a strategy.
Can you at least, like, see it from our point of view and like the cameras too, where it's like,
No.
you just sound ridiculous. Like, it's
What
just,
is the as basic as it can get? What has been the biggest reason why the Bills haven't been to a Super
the
Bowl?
defense? And I don't think that defense improved much. Like, it really hasn't. Yes. Yes.
No one can see it.
I was gonna say we'll post it. We'll try our best to put it in the video. Send
not
it to
put-
me.
I'm not putting
and
it
I'll
in the
see if I
video.
can put it on the TikTok somehow
Okay.
or the YouTube. You got to put it on the YouTube. Yeah. I mean, you got to see our point of view of it. Like you expect us to think
You don't think I do?
Tre'Davious
You don't think I do?
White and a bunch of rookies are all of a sudden gonna come save your franchise? Like
It's not just that though. Like,
What is it? But that's the
The
difference between this year and last year.
Exactly.
Like, but that's what I'm saying.
but like, here's the problem. I can say names, and then you're just gonna be like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
so what?
Because what?
Oh,
else would be
so what?
What else will be the difference between having a ring and not having a ring? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I asked
Yeah.
you, what is the difference?
What's going to take to that?
I
next
literally that
And you just
that,
said
and you guys
names,
just went,
and you just said
"Oh,
names.
oh, huh?"
Tre'Davious White and unproven rookies? That's what's going to take you.
A first or second round pick, a first round pick, a third round pick.
For context, first round pick was injured last year. We'll see how he does. I'm not giving up on him, but fact is he was injured a lot last year, so we'll see how he does with that. And regardless if he was injured or not, it's corner. Like, it's a corner.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Which
one of the
why you
hardest-
bring in a vet like Trey White to help him.
But Trey White isn't good
can't believe
anymore.
you're
But he's not
believing in
good
Trey White
anymore.
anymore.
But he's
I'm
good
not.
anymore.
I hope he doesn't play a lot. He's there for mentorship. When he was good,
I get fun of for liking Bobby Wagner. Like, this is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. Like,
Bobby Wagner starts. That's the difference.
he's an all-pro.
He sucks.
As he made
He
all-pro.
sucks.
Like, I,
Speaking
that's why I'm
of,
so
moving
confused.
off of the
No,
Bills,
I'm not done
my
with this. Like,
third-
you aren't making any sense. You aren't making any sense.
You literally open up. I don't think the Bills are a pretender.
Yeah.
Because they are.
Because I still
No.
because I still think they could make the AFC Championship game. I don't see them making a Super Bowl.
Yeah, against the Ravens, not the Chiefs.
The Ravens. I think if it was the Ravens versus the
Bills have beat them
in the
twice.
AFC Championship, I'm taking the
Lamar's
Ravens.
never beat him in the playoffs.
Doesn't matter. He's going
Never
to
beat him in the
this year.
playoffs.
'Cause you
Why?
have no one
Why?
on
Because they signed
defense.
D Hop, an old vet.
Because they
Why?
don't have anyone on
Why?
defense.
What did the Ravens do? I'm not even talking about the Ravens.
Dog.
Talking about the
Not-
Bills.
I know exactly.
Talking about the Bills.
We are.
Yep,
Good point.
they're not
All right.
pretenders.
You may.
Speaking of pretender,
Yes.
the Commanders, they're winning 6 games this
So
year.
fussy.
The Commanders are winning 6 games this year. Free agent signings. They brought in Will Harris, who has never played good football in his entire career. Javon
he's
Kinlaw,
so
that
angry.
they signed for $15 million a year.
is he
He's in the
so
middle.
angry?
He's making more money than Cameron Hayward is making. And he's
Cameron
just
Hayward's
below
also
Tershawn
40.
Wharton, who had 6.5 sacks last year and is breaking out. He's only 26 years old. Javon Kinlaw is terrible, has never played good football. They brought in old Eddie Goldman. He's never been good at football. Dietrich Wise, a guy that can't rush the passer, can only maybe stop the run every 10th play. An old corner in Jonathan Jones, who hasn't been good since 2017. They re-signed Bobby Wagner, who's an all-pro. He's great. They also re-signed his grandpa, Zach Ertz. And they brought in, guess what? You'll never believe this one. A blocking tight end. They brought John Bates back, which really helped out their run game last year that was non-existent. And then they go and sign Noah Brown, who we don't know what happened to him because they haven't said a single thing about his
Which
injury.
means he's healthy.
Or he died. Like, there's no in
No,
between.
not Noah. I love Noah. Not Noah.
Okay, I'll give you credit, though. They did go and get Fat Debo Samuel
Tubbs.
and a left tackle that loves smoking weed. Which,
Cheers to
nothing
you.
wrong with him.
Cheers to you.
He was down last year, though. Didn't have a great season. And they lost Jonathan Allen, who again wasn't very good, and the savior of your season, De'Ami Brown, who is now going to be the number 1 receiver on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Over Travis
Who are going to be
Hunter.
the AFC South champions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
De'Ami Brown's winning Offensive Player of the Year.
I
then-
just want to make sure
and then-
the audience is hearing what he's saying.
And then you move on to their draft. They go to Josh Connerly. Let's draft a position that we already know that we have players starting at. And then we're going to go draft Trey Amos. I like Trey Amos. I can't say anything
we
bad
got
about him
2
because
first-round picks.
they need a corner because Marshawn Lattimore is not
We
good.
got 2 first-round picks.
And then they have 2 other small corners that aren't
Adam
very good.
Peters, massive.
And then they drafted a punt returner in the 4th round.
Yeah, that was a bad pick. Jalen Lane's not good.
All right. Moving on to my reasons as to why they're not going to be.
Those weren't your reasons.
I mean, they are, but I'm going to go even deeper here.
Oh my
The pretender
Lord.
in the Washington Commanders. Why? They don't have weapons. Terry McLaurin's going to be traded before the season starts.
Oh, I bet.
Debo Samuel is fatter than he's ever been.
I bet.
Noah
Yeah.
Brown, again, we have no idea what happened to him.
Thinks
He might have died.
I
His
guess
leg
he
might be
died.
amputated.
Yeah,
Brian Robinson's never gone over 800 yards in his career.
that I agree with.
Austin Eckler can't run more than 15 miles an hour. And Zach Ertz is the oldest man on the field at all times, no matter what's happening. And then,
Oh, this-
with no weapons,
Yeah.
you would think their defense is elite, right? No, it's not. They were 31st in DVOA last year. What is DVOA? It's how well the defense performs, and they take into account of the opponents they played. On paper, they were like the 16th best defense with numbers wise, but when you account for the teams that they were playing against, they were ranked 31st in the league defensively. But guess what? That all got helped because they signed Javon Kinlaw, right? Javon Kinlaw's the savior of this defense.
That's why every commander.
He
fan
was
is saying,
ranked.
Yeah.
He had a 50.8 run defense grade and was 116th out of 219 players. Worse than middle of the pack. And had a 53.4 overall grade, which was 126 out of 219.
Research here.
And then
Big research.
The
Notice he
schedule-
only did that research for the.
I literally did it for the Chiefs too. I literally did
Nah,
it for the
you
Chiefs
didn't.
too.
You weren't.
And
invested
then
enough.
their schedule is the 14th toughest in the league, and they play 8 playoff teams. And their division got better,
Lots better.
lots better. The Giants are probably winning the division.
Not probably.
The Cowboys aren't a pretender. We've already established
They
that.
are.
But yeah, no, the Commanders are pretenders, and I'm sorry to tell you that.
he's so feisty. He's so angry.
I'm so feisty, yet I just named facts.
So much aggression. I feel hostility.
You know you're losing that bet.
This side, I'm really not.
I really hope it's 10. I'll be honest, I hope it's 10.
I hope it's. I'm not gonna lie. I would. Would I love to win? What I say, 14? Would I love to win 14 games like I predicted? Sure. But deep down inside, I really want 10.
I'm never coming home.
Eat some.
I'm never coming home.
We will go to
Oh,
you.
we'll find
We'll
you.
go to you. Look, I could say a lot of things right now, but there's no point.
Of hiding the facts?
because-
Yeah, I
just let,
know,
just let
exactly.
you. Just let you
Because
dissect this.
I know what we have, and I'm not even saying I disagree with a lot of things you said, because like you said, you were listing stats and facts. So I'm not even gonna disagree with some of the things that you said. I know what we have
That
at
kid
quarterback.
Jaden.
I know what we have in a coaching staff.
JD5.
I know the potential we have from the guys we drafted last year and have brought in. I know what kind of depth we have that we didn't have last year. I know that we are going to be a playoff team and we are going to make a run. There's really not much for me. I could go back and forth and say, but this. That's not going to convince you. That's not going to convince any Washington doubters out there, because you guys are just choosing to doubt us at that point. Because these were the same people that doubted Jaden throughout the season, going into the process, going into the playoffs. Those same people that doubted him saw him and the team achieve things we haven't seen since 1991. So there's no point in me sitting here and saying you're wrong because of this, and this, and this. We'll just see what happens this fall when we see the Commanders make a playoff run. It's as
We
simple as
never
that.
see a team have one really good year out of nowhere, right? We never see that.
I'm sure there's something you could pull. Like, I'm sure there are teams that have
No,
done
I'm saying that as a joke because it happens all the time.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
And there are
The Giants
teams.
did it.
There are teams that have flipped it.
Yeah, they They thought Daniel Jones was the answer.
You cannot compare Jaden
He's still
Daniels
not the
to
answer.
Daniel Jones.
He won a playoff game.
He's still not the
You
answer.
okay, Jaden Daniels won more than the playoff game.
Yep.
Like, he won more in the regular season.
It's almost like that's what we call the Cinderella story.
Done things that Daniel Jones can only dream of. It will be a Cinderella story
It was a Cinderella story.
if it was the same old Washington, and then this happened, and we're continuing
They
to
lost
be the
to
same
Philly.
old Washington.
It was the same old Washington. They
I
lost to
told you
Philly.
before the season started that we are as close to an expansion team that you could possibly get to, because we didn't change the coach, and then there were some players here and there. From the very top to the very bottom, everything changed. This is not the same Washington. I know it's easy to think it is because it's the Commanders. Oh, they changed names. It's the same ugly uniforms. It's the same ugly stadium. It's the same Jogo franchise. It's not, though. When Josh Harris bought this team, he changed it from the top to the bottom, from everything. When you look at how he went about the business and how he moved around and changed everything in that organization, is nothing short of a masterclass of what he's done over the past year or two.
You mean besides make his star receiver very unhappy, get a fat
Guess
guy
what?
to have
He's
next to him?
still
But don't worry
he-
though.
he's still gonna
brought,
sign with
They
us.
brought in his coach from the Senior Bowl,
I told
and that's gonna
you
make
that-
him not fat anymore.
Wait. One, we didn't.
They
Bring him in.
brought-
He was already on the
they
team.
brought what-
It's not like we brought him in for the. He was already on the team. Second off, that's not why. Like I said,
You
like,
literally said
from
last
the-
week. Guess what? Wes Welker's is the coach now.
I didn't even say. I said
And
it like
now-
a month ago. And Wes Welker is even the coach. That's what I'm saying. You
He's the
don't know
assistant.
stuff.
He's
you
the assistant.
Don't know
He's
stuff.
the
If
assistant.
you don't know
You were
stuff,
so-
then don't talk
he was the
about
assistant.
it. It's as simple as that. If you don't know something,
I'm sorry that
don't
he didn't
speak on
I'm
it.
sorry
It's
that
as
he
simple
didn't
as
put
that.
assistant in front of. I didn't put assistant
If you
in
don't
front
know
of it.
something, don't
I'm sorry.
speak on it.
I'm
when
sorry.
you look at the grade,
I'm
those
sorry.
annual grades that comes out before Josh Harris bought the team, it was F's and everything, from culture to happiness. Everything
you
was
guys were
F.
owned by one of the worst people
Everything
living on the planet.
Is A's and B's now. We are getting.
I would
the
hope so.
Yes, because he's invested. We are getting a stadium back in DC where it belongs. We were getting the draft. Everything like that stuff would have never
Why does it belong
happened
there?
under Snyder. Like, you gotta understand. Like, this isn't Snyder's.
He
team.
was
Like,
was the one of the worst people on the planet.
yes. And
So like
now
I
we
would
have
hope
a
the guy that you brought in is better than that person.
But it's not that even that he's better. It's a complete 180. Like, you cannot get
I'm saying,
further
Angel.
from what we. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we are so far from what we were that's why it's not a Cinderella story. It would be one thing if this happened.
Then why
under
was everybody
Snyder.
shocked he beat the Lions?
Because one, the Lions were the 1 seed; they were really good, and two, because a
Cinderella story.
rookie quarterback came in. But it's not like the rookie quarterback came in and played decent. Like, he blew the doors away. He had correct me if I'm wrong. It was around 6 games this year where he didn't have a turnover or punt. No, it was. Well, I want to get the exact number because I know I'm going to get corrected. It was between 4 and 6 games where he didn't. And I don't know if it includes playoffs or not, that he didn't punt or turn the ball over. 4 or 6 in his rookie year. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady combined have less than that in their entire careers. This isn't a... Like, it would be a Cinderella story if we somehow got by, like the Nationals in 2019. Like, it would be one thing if we somehow scraped by. But we didn't. We dominated. Can you two stop playing with each other over there?
He's about to go off on you.
Go ahead. Please do.
3 words.
Oh.
Incoming 5-12.
Oh, I didn't. What was your first prediction when we made the video? It was 10
You're
wins,
so dumb.
right?
That's more than 3 words.
Wait, no, 5 and I can't.
Incoming 5 and 12.
5-12.
Regardless, all I'm trying to say is
4 words.
I would agree with you. It was a Cinderella story if we were barely scraping by and Jaden didn't look as good as he did and we didn't build the culture we built and Dan Quinn isn't the answer. Like, then yes, absolutely, that is a Cinderella story. But this isn't the same Washington. We weren't scraping
see.
by. Like, we
We need more than 1 year of sample
and
size.
you know what?
That's all I'm
I
saying.
think that's fair, and I think that is fair. I agree.
I
will
will
take back everything I said if we did bad this year. And
All
we
I'm doing
regress.
is stating simple facts. And those facts, in at least my opinion, can lead to you guys being pretenders. Is that fair?
That's fair. Just know you're wrong. Like, it's as simple.
It's the same thing I said about the
Definitely
Bills.
think
so-
you guys can be pretenders.
And maybe we are. Maybe I just don't see it with how it went last year and how everything has changed.
Personally, I really hope you guys are.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we're in the division. You're supposed. I would be concerned if you didn't wish bad on us.
All right, let's move off of this topic
More
before
of
we
a
rip our
positive
heads off.
thing,
We're gonna
yes.
move on to the positive sides.
Yes.
We're gonna start with Jack because
yes.
he is just mentioned it. Why would you be super happy if the Commanders were pretenders this year?
Because the Giants are winning the division. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I don't think we're winning the division, but the New York Football Giants, kind of like you were saying, we are a new team.
Oh no!
We
you're
are a
not.
new team.
Stop that! No.
Jackson
This is
Chase
supposed to be a
Dart.
positive.
Jackson Chase
This
Dart.
is supposed to be a positive.
You have the same
day
coach,
that you-
the same O-line, the same owner.
Not the same O-line.
Same disappointed
Not the
fan
same
base.
O-line.
Nothing has changed. You still have an old quarterback. Like, nothing.
We don't
has-
have Daniel Jones anymore.
You have Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston.
goats.
Jackson
Thank
Chase Dart. The day he steps on the field
I cannot believe
will be
you
the day
think
the New York Giants are
more
heading
like
in
the
the correct
Commanders are.
direction.
that is
In
so
3 years.
ridiculous.
Week 9 of the next season, Jackson Chase Dart. The second he walks on that field, you will feel a shift in New York City. You will feel the ground shake. You will feel the aura in the stands.
He does have aura. I'll give him that.
Jackson Dart is the future quarterback of the New York
I
Giants,
mean, that's a fact.
I would hope so.
I would hope so. He's
That's a
my first
fact.
round pick.
There's
That's a
nothing
fact.
really-
Yeah.
and he's a future Hall of Famer. Not even kidding.
That's crazy.
Not even kidding.
insane.
Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart.
Not even just him. The O-line got better. So we're getting Andrew Thomas back this year.
Okay.
Getting Andrew
Who's
Thomas
been
back.
hurt every year of his career.
John Michael Schmitz is coming off of a sophomore slump. He's going to be better this year. Right guard,
Rise.
Evan
Yes.
Neal. Evan Neal's going to be. I've heard all offseason about how
Don't
Evan Neal
don't you
has gotten
dare.
better
Oh
every single day.
my
I've heard
God.
every day that Evan Neal has gotten better.
Kind of similar to how I was saying that we improved from Kyrie Elam.
This is so ridiculous. This is
Evan Neal
so-
played at Bama.
This is so ridiculous.
Right tackle, Jermaine Illuminor. He played solid last year.
Naming positions.
He was solid last
right
year.
tackle.
Right tackle. So we
Cowboy.
got better. Wide receivers, Malik Neighbors is already a top 5 receiver in the league.
That's
Darius Slayton
No,
changed
say
it.
what you said the other day. Say what you said.
But what?
He's the best receiver in the NFC East.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I
Malik
like him a
Neighbors
lot.
is-
I like Malik. a
Malik
lot.
Neighbors is going to prove next year that he's the best
You
receiver
also think
in the
AJ
NFC
Brown's
East.
better than CeeDee Lamb,
I do.
so that's crazy.
I do.
I don't agree with that.
I do.
I think CeeDee Lamb's better.
No, yeah, no. Me and Angel had a
This is
conversation.
his thing.
Me and Angel had a conversation. I know. But you said that you thought CeeDee Lamb was worse than AJ Brown, and you told me
I still
that is
think
an
CD's elite. I
you.
still think
But
CD's
you
elite.
said that is an NFC East thing.
I
I
think
asked
a lot of it.
fans. I took a survey of
Really?
fans from the NFC East, him being one of them. Do you agree?
What?
That AJ Brown is better than CD.
No, CeeDee Lamb's better.
Okay.
And
I
then
think CeeDee Lamb's better.
I asked.
Look, both elite receivers.
The other two were Cowboys and Eagles fans.
Yeah.
The Eagles fan even said CeeDee Lamb's better.
Okay. I'm simply saying AJ Brown is harder to cover than CD Lamb.
But it doesn't matter because Malik Neighbors is the best. Continue.
Yeah, facts.
Anywho, yes. Malik Neighbors is the best receiver in the NFC East. Darius Slayton changed his number. He's a new man.
He has new aura.
Number 18 for the New York Giants, Darius Slayton now.
Do you still have Deontay Banks? Terry's son?
Yes, we do have Deontay Banks,
Terry's son?
who's going to be a breakout player this
What
year,
about
actually.
Trey Hawkins?
Trey Hawkins is
Trey Hawkins.
he's amazing,
Dog.
you know?
He's
He's
a dog.
yeah.
Hawkins is a dog.
Anyways, Wandale Robinson we still have. Jalen Hyatt has gained 20 pounds of muscle. He's a new man as well. He's looked bigger. He looks faster.
He's only going to get worse. All he had was speed. Now his speed is
He
gone.
still looks just as fast. He still looks just as fat, and he's fast. He looks just as fast, and he's stronger.
He's on that Debo.
He's going to be
workout.
breaking tackles. He's going to be doing great things in New York. Running back, Tyrone Tracy, Cam Scatabo, Devin Singletary. You can't name 3 better on a team.
Motor.
You genuinely can't. Cam Scatabo is that grit on that team. Tyrone Tracy is the elusive, the speed, the everything to that running
What
back
did
room.
Jameis say? What did James?
Why are you just
What
looking
did,
at him?
what did James say?
What did James say?
That the white boys have some seasoning.
The white boys got seasoning on the Giants.
I didn't say it like that. That's kind of great.
The
Keep
white
it,
boys,
keep it.
the white boys got seasoning on the Giants,
We're keeping it.
and Devin Singletary is the backbone of that room.
The back.
Motor.
Yes. D-line. Oh, don't even get me started on the D-line. Oh, my goodness. This is the best defensive line I've seen since Damon Harrison, Olivier Vernon.
Damon Harris.
Damon Harrison.
Oh, Snacks Harrison?
Yeah, Snacks Harrison. Snacks Harrison was a dog.
Wasn't he better on the
I would
Jets?
say more of an internet guy. But
No, he's a dog. Olivier Vernon, him, and Jason Pierre-Paul. This is the best D-line we've seen since them. Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. Those four guys right there.
You go continue.
Those four guys right there is going to make that defense gel together. And don't even get me started on Bobby Okereke and Micah McFadden, two very, very good linebackers.
The key word is good.
Very, very good. That's
Not great.
very, very good equals great.
No.
And then-
You said they're great linebackers.
Cornerback, we have Paulson Adebo, who's fully recovered from his injury, and before he got injured, was a great corner.
Why are you itching?
Did he not just
My nose
snap his?
itches.
Didn't he just snap his leg in half?
Yeah, but he's fully improved. He's fully recovered. He's fully back. Deontay Banks,
It's Harry's son.
I will admit, Deontay Banks has not been very good for us, but he's going to have a bounce back year.
I bet.
We have Andrew Phillips, who's a dog.
I like him.
Andrew Phillips is a dog. We have Javon Holland.
Trey Hawkins.
Wait, whoa. So you're telling me that rookies can be good?
What are you talking about?
Who?
Andrew Phillips was a rookie last year.
And he was
Yeah,
great.
but he's not going to be the difference between a Super Bowl win and
If
not.
all three of those guys play like that, you don't think so?
That's all right. Those are three guys.
whatever.
We're literally
I don't
talking
care.
about one.
Whatever.
You don't care as you brought
But
it up.
you said it's impossible for rookies to be good.
No one said, what are you talking
Go ahead.
about?
Watch out for Dane
one
Belton.
said that.
Watch out for Dane Belton. All the Giants coaches are raving about him. He's going to have a breakout year. He already had like 3 or 4 interceptions last year.
What is your point?
What does he play?
Who?
Dane Belton?
Safety. Dane Belton had like 400. He had like 4 interceptions last year.
I'll take your word for it.
He had like 4 interceptions last
That
year.
really helped them out in the long run.
This is a huge year. Anyway, this is a huge year for the Giants. If we do not play good this year, everybody's gone. I just think that this is the year that we make a playoff run. No, not even a run. I'm not even going to go that far. We're going to make a playoff appearance. If we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. But the Giants will be in the playoffs this year, and that's why they are my breakout team.
Surprised.
Y'all gonna have 3 wins. I'm not gonna hate to
No.
break it.
Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
You,
Before we go, do you have anything else to say to him?
It's just so ridiculous.
It's not.
Like I can't. What did
It
we
sounds
waste? We
far-fetched,
wasted
but it's not.
10 minutes on
It
that.
sounds far-fetched,
That's
but it's not.
ridiculous.
It sounds far-fetched,
You know
but it's
what?
not.
This is our fault.
I forgot Theo Johnson. How did I forget Theo Johnson?
Go ahead.
Daniel Bellinger.
That's a different guy.
We just traded Darren Waller. We traded Darren Waller for a 6th round. How did we fleece the Dolphins that hard? Joe Shane is the best GM in the league.
But you just said he was getting fired if they stink.
I'm so serious too.
Look.
You might
know
have
what?
just
No, no,
convinced
no,
me. I'm
no,
not
no,
going to lie.
This is our
They're
fault.
going to have a better record than the Commanders.
This is our fault.
It is.
This is our show.
It is.
And we lost
We
full control
We
of it.
al- the Bills
should've
thing
stopped
really.
him 20
The
minutes
Bills
ago.
thing got me going. The
don't
Commanders.
say.
The Commanders thing got you going.
Not as much as you. You turned red more than you. You look like a tomato. You turned red more than usual.
The Giants make the playoffs.
This is ridiculous. All right,
All right,
you,
Jim-
you choose. Do you want to go? Do you want me to go? Because this.
You want to go?
I'll
Are you
go.
more
I'll
confident
go.
in your
You-
team or my team?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even remember your team. I'll just say my
you do.
team. I think my surprise team are the Arizona Cardinals. They kept improving last year, and even last year they improved from the year before.
I like that.
They keep showing that they're progressing. Marvin Harrison could have a really breakout year. People are forgetting.
Although you wouldn't trade me anything for him in fantasy.
Look,
You
that's
said he wasn't
fantasy.
that good.
I'm talking about real life.
You're scared that he's not.
No, that's not true.
That's the truth.
People are forgetting he was a generational talent in college.
Malik Neighbors is better.
In my personal opinion, I disagree. I had Marvin Harrison
I do
Jr.
too.
ranked ahead of him based off of the draft process. I'm not talking about right now. But regardless, he could have a breakout year. And they improved the defense throughout the draft. They got, if healthy, the steal of the draft, possibly Will Campbell in the second round.
First
If-
round.
No, in the second round they got Will Campbell.
Will Campbell?
No, my bad. Will.
Say what?
This
Is
is.
it Will Campbell?
This is. It's PM football for a reason. It's
You're
been a
right.
long night.
The steal of the draft.
No, it's been a long. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to Will Johnson and,
Ledge Sanders.
and Will Campbell. I would like to apologize to both.
Did
of
you
them.
guys know Colonel Sanders was Deion Sanders' dad?
This is a mess. I'm so sorry.
I
I
like
meant
this.
to say
This is-
Will Johnson.
This is fun.
Will Johnson could be the steal of the draft if healthy. They got him in the second round. Could possibly be the steal of the draft. Got Walter Nolan, who I was a big fan of. Got him in the first round. And I believe, I don't even know what. Regardless, they got a vast majority of their picks in the draft was defensive players. They're improving through the defense.
They're not going to be good though.
I think they can improve. I'm not saying they could go and.
I don't think they're
I'm
playing.
saying
Make a run.
their defense can't be good though because they drafted rookie defenders. And they
I
just-
think it can help.
they just can't be
improve
good.
Them. See, this is the difference between
No.
me and him.
No,
I move on from a subject. He's still salty because he knows deep down
that we're winning the Super Bowl.
that we are right. That
You're
it's
not
the
right.
Same Bills.
It's not.
We're not even talking about the Bills right now. My team.
They just
my
we live
surprise
rent
team
free
is-
in their heads.
He cannot stop bringing it up. It's insane. Even last week when we were talking about quarterbacks with aura, which no one in our replies said Josh Allen. He brought up Jaden Daniels. I didn't even bring him up.
What's the guy's name?
He just lives in the space of my team and how he just wants to dominate my team. As long as he could say his team's better than my team, then he's happy. That's who he is.
Yeah.
No.
And I'm sure you could relate. I'm
Yeah.
sure as long as he thinks his team's better than yours, he is happy with it.
Yeah.
And if you say anything bad about his team, it is the end of the world to him. That's why I say if he's the only Bills fan I know. If all Bills fans are like him, they are the Dallas Cowboys of the AFC.
First of all,
They are slowly becoming the
it
Dallas
is
Cowboys.
insane.
The Bills fans are
It
slowly
is-
becoming delusional.
They have shown
how
us
were we delusional
because you
when
show
we
us-
actually
when-
show
'cause you
success
show us
when the Cowboys
and
never do?
what happens year after year after year, and you expect a different result when nothing is changing. That's why you're like the Cowboys, because you're expecting
The Cowboys
something-
wouldn't even make the playoffs, though. That's the difference. We're going to the
I'm
AFC
saying
Championship game.
mentality-wise, you guys are the same. What?
We're going to the AFC Championship game.
And what's gonna happen in the AFC Championship?
No,
You're
all I
gonna lose to Kermit the Frog because it happens
No.
every year.
You wanna know what? You
That's
wanna know what the
delusion.
truth is?
That's
Do
insanity.
you want to know what the truth
What's
is?
the truth?
You hate us because you ain't us.
You
All
see
right.
what I'm talking about?
You do. You wish.
You wanna know something funny?
You
You know
wish.
how corny that was? That's
You
what Josh Allen would say.
wish.
He thinks he has aura. Josh Allen would totally be like, they hate us because they ain't us. Oh, ain't that right, Haley? Tell me when you come back from Michael B. Jordan's house. Like, that's exactly
pick
what
you
would
up.
I'll pick you up. I'll drop you off and pick you up. Don't forget to record. That's exactly what Josh Allen was saying. He thinks that's aura. That's exactly what I'm saying. If all Bills fans are like
No,
this,
no.
like you guys are the
You
Cowboys of the AFC.
just legitimately hate seeing us succeed.
Why? You guys are not relevant. Like you're really like
We're not
The
relevant.
town of Buffalo
We're not
isn't relevant. Like you guys don't have any like
Fry him.
what would make me hate the Bills?
Right.
You guys haven't had any
You
success.
realize what you just did to yourself?
What? You guys haven't
You just
had-
became Buffalo's #1 enemy.
Oh, I'm scared of the 1,000 people that are in the city of Buffalo? All you Eskimo people? You think I'm scared? You come. I dare you to pull up to me, see what happens in your snowmobiles. Pull up to me, see what happens. Bunch of soft people in Buffalo. I didn't mean that. I'm lying.
Oh,
Wow, let's go
Yeah,
back on
I
that.
went a little too far with it. No,
You want to talk about soft people
no,
over here?
okay, look, Buffalo, you aren't soft. I'm just not afraid of you. But Buffalo is not soft. There's no reason. There's no reason for me
Cut this
to.
part out.
There's
I'm
no.
not cutting anything.
There's
Cut
no.
this part out. Leave
There's
the other
no.
part.
There's no
Yeah.
reason for me to one be afraid of Buffalonians. Is that what they're
Yes.
called? Buffalonians.
Yep.
Or be jealous of them. Like hate. Like
You are,
Why
though.
would I hate to see Buffalo
Why?
succeed?
But why does it bug you so much
what?
that without what I'm saying? You just
Because
always are saying
I don't
nope,
want
no,
you- 'cause look,
no,
this is why.
nope, that can't
It's
happen.
because
It's impossible.
I care about you, and I don't want you to go down the path
Angel,
a Cowboys
you're
fan.
following. You're falling for it again too, though. I hope you realize
I disagree. I
What though? What has made you think? Okay, we've had one good season.
because I think it's gonna happen again.
Oh, it's almost like I think it's gonna
But
happen
you guys
again.
have had it done repeatedly.
And it's gonna.
Exactly. Keyword.
It's happened.
What do you mean? It's happened for one season
For us. It's happened. It keeps happening.
Yes, stop falling for it. That's what
We've
I'm
had
saying.
success.
Stop falling for it.
But we've had success though continuously.
How many times have you been to a Super Bowl? How many times
have you
have you? How many tries
that-
have you had to get to a Super Bowl, and how many times have you gone through? That's all I'm saying.
many
That's
have you
all I am saying.
How about you?
We've only had one try. Let me think we're going to get there again. And guess what? If we can't get there again, then I reevaluate my expectation. That's the difference. You don't reevaluate it.
Yes,
Every year it's,
I do.
This is our year. Nothing changed from last year, but this is our year. Oh, dang, we didn't make it. Nothing changed
What
from
is-
last year, but this year's the year.
But this
Oh,
isn't
wait.
the Chiefs' year.
Yeah, no, it's not the Chiefs.
But this isn't the
This
Chiefs'
is our
year.
year. Wait,
No,
nothing
no,
changed
no,
this year?
you
Wait,
can't do that.
This
No,
is our year.
no,
Like, that's the
no.
difference. If we, you know what the difference
No.
is? No, you want to know what the difference is?
No.
If we were in your position where year after year after year after year, we couldn't get it done, at some point, I'd be like, something has to change.
Yep.
You and I don't know it. What?
What
Whoa.
Oh, it's almost like I've said that. I've wanted us to get rid of Sean McDermott for so long. I've said
but
he
you
is the
haven't.
problem.
But you haven't.
Exactly.
You still think the same thing. You
Because-
think something's gonna change.
It's exactly like what we were talking about before we even started filming. The Steelers.
Does he not?
The
understand what I'm trying to say.
The Steelers, right? We had this conversation. They're going all in this year. And if they don't do it, Mike Tomlin's probably gone.
Yes.
This is our year. This is the best defense.
Why?
Dude, listen to what I'm saying. This is the best defense we've had, probably ever with Buffalo. If we can't get it done this year, he's gone.
Well, I
The best defense ever in Buffalo?
That we've had with Sean McDermott.
I was gonna say.
I don't know. I don't even remember where we left off.
I think we were moving on.
To
Or
you.
you did the Cardinals, right?
The
Do you have anything else to say with the
No,
Cardinals?
my answer is the Cardinals.
And
Dear
this is going
Lord.
to, all right, my surprise team is going to surprise people because it's within my own division. It's the Patriots. I'm actually a huge fan of what the Patriots have done in this offseason. I was a Drake May fan coming out of college. They drafted Will Campbell
Johnson.
in the first round, not by the Cardinals in the second.
It's PM football.
They took
Like,
Travion Henderson, who I think is easily the second best running back in the class. They took one of my favorite players in the entire draft, in Kyle Williams, in the third. And then they drafted.
wait, hold up. I got to call you out.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said he was the second best running back in the class. Who did you think was first? Ashton Genty, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all draft process, you were talking so highly on Omar and Hampton being really close to Ashton Genty.
I'm sorry. I forgot about Omarion.
Okay,
I'm
just
sorry.
making sure.
I'm
Just
sorry.
making sure.
He was 3. I'm sorry.
W.
Omarion. No,
Just
you
making
got
sure.
me.
Just making
I'll take that one. Drafted Jared Wilson in the 4th, Josh Farmer in the 4th, and Braden Swinson in the 5th. All 6 of those guys are going to be instant contributors on that team, and I was fans of throughout the draft process. They added Stephon Diggs, Milton Williams. They added Diggs. Milton Williams is there to replace Devon Godshaw, who they lost in free agency. Upgrade easily. Morgan Moses. Anything's better than the offensive line they had last year. Carlton Davis is replacing Jonathan Jones, who's now going to your sorry team.
He's going to be a backup, but that's fine.
So is Tre'Davious White, and you guys are acting like I'm
No,
thinking
you
he's going to be the
just
savior.
said-
That's what I'm saying. No, like, all right. I don't even.
I don't
wanna bring
think
up
you
the
guys
Bills.
listen.
I don't even want to bring up the Bills.
I don't even think
Please-
you guys
Please
listen to
continue
me.
with the Patriots.
Robert Spillane's there.
So tired of the Bills.
Robert Spillane, great linebacker to bring in. Harold Landry's back with Vrabel. He's replacing Dietrich Wise, who also your sorry team signed. And they got Garrett Bradbury.
Notice how we live in his head rent free.
No.
No one, like, no one.
I just see a
is
name of a
even
guy that's
bringing
on
up-
your current team, and I have to
Wanna
tell
know
you he's not
something
good.
Funny? Every single time Washington has got brought up, this episode and last episode, it's been from him.
Yeah.
I haven't said a word about.
It's
my
because
own
they're
team.
pretenders. It's that
And
simple.
how about last week?
Finishing up with the Patriots,
Exactly.
they have the 3rd easiest schedule in the entire league, and the craziest thing about their schedule, they're favored in 11 games right now. That's insane. They won, what, 4 or 5 games last year? 6 games? I don't remember. But to be favored in 11 games, coming off of a 4-win season, that's a massive jump. And the Jets and the Dolphins play in that division. They, to me, might both be top 5 picks, especially the Dolphins. I'm not a fan of the Dolphins.
I'm not high on them either. I'm not higher on either.
And the Jets, Justin
I think
Fields
the Jets could be
does something.
The Jets could be decent, in my opinion.
No, I don't see it happening. But I really wanted to have the Patriots as my surprising, but you already took them, and I don't blame you. Like, I agree.
But I've
Like,
been on them. Like,
yeah, no, you have, which is I totally agree. Yeah, I'm expecting really good things from the Patriots this year. They were our offseason winners.
Mhm.
Like they've had a really good offseason. I think they drastically improved. It's gonna be interesting to see how they do this season.
Yep.
Well,
I think that
here we are.
definitely does it for that one.
yes. Was there anything you would like to say before we close this up?
I don't know. I know you got a question.
I have a question, and I think you guys will like this one. Let's make this quick because I'm sure it's late. It is late. I want to go see my baby.
What? Pregnant?
Oh, not me. Oh, even though looks could be deceiving. Who? And I know everyone has one. Let's be honest. Who is a player on your own
Are you
team?
really not going to clarify that?
No. Who is a player on your team? So the Bills and the Giants that was on your team that you hated growing up. I have one.
If you got to go ahead. because
Yeah, I
gotta
have
think.
one, and I think all Commanders fans can agree. Albert Hainsworth. We cannot stand
Stole
Albert
money from
Hainsworth.
you guys.
Nothing gets worse than Dan Snyder. Second place, Albert Hainsworth. I cannot stand Albert Hainsworth. I don't think anyone in Washington can. If we saw him on the street, we'd probably, I mean, I wouldn't say we'd spit on him because that's a big dude, but we would have very nasty words to say to him. So, for me, Albert Hainsworth, a guy that was on my team that I could not stand.
You got
And
one?
I'm sure a lot of Washington fans can agree.
You have one?
Can we say coaches?
If you really can't think of a player, go ahead.
No, you got it. Go ahead.
Kyrie Elam is the easiest answer I've ever given in my life. Like, we legitimately, when he was on the field, we knew a 30-yard play was going to happen.
Reminds me of Benjamin St. Juice.
Yes.
And he was up for contention for me.
But
But I wanted to go more
no,
nostalgic.
Kyrie Elam, regardless of the Benjamin St. Juice thing, Kyrie Elam was a first-round pick.
Yeah.
St. Juice was what, undrafted, 6th round?
No, he
7th?
was a third round pick.
Not first round.
Not first, yeah.
But
not
that,
first.
like, we,
Oh, I have it. Sorry.
like,
Perfect.
is it Evan Neal?
No.
Yeah,
But
no,
it's-
Kyrie Elam, he grinds everybody's gears.
He's still better than Emmanuel Forbes, but I can see why you guys hate him. Go ahead. Do your,
A lot of Giants fans will say Daniel Jones, and that's a great answer. But my least favorite player of all, like he honestly might be one of my least favorite people ever. Nate Solder.
Ooh.
Nate Solder was the worst signing I have ever seen in my entire
More than
life. We
Kenny
gave him.
Golladay?
See, I don't really hate Kenny Galladay though.
I remember that off season when he signed with you guys. I really wanted him to go Washington.
I really wanted him too.
Yeah.
Nate Solder was so unbelievably bad. It wasn't even like you just expected. Like Giants fans, every single game expected him to allow like 5 sacks, 20 pressures, whatever it is. Nate Solder is honestly the worst Giants player I've ever seen in my entire life. He never had a good game. He never even touched the amount of money that he should have been. He never touched the skill level of the amount of money he was being
Reminds me
paid.
of Albert Hainsworth.
It was so bad. I genuinely hate Nate Solder with like that started all my O-line trust issues as a kid. Like he was the reason as a Giants fan that I just knew our offensive line was just gonna be horrible every week. Nate Solder, shame on you.
It's funny because he was good with the Patriots.
He was.
Yeah, that's why he got so much money, and then he just was horrible.
He was like an all-pro bowler.
Absolutely
Yeah.
horrible with the Giants.
He was really good with the Patriots.
All Giants fans know that, by the way. You know how bad Nate Solder was.
Yeah. All right. That does it for us. I can't even imagine how long this video was. I want to clarify. People in Buffalo, I don't think you're soft. I do not think you're soft.
I don't know.
You guys don't scare me. And there's no reason for me to hate you. Like, there's no reason. Why would you guys came, not literally, but like NFL-wise came from the trenches. Like, you guys had a really dark past. There's no reason to hate on a team that comes from the trenches with a really dark past.
Exactly.
Exactly. Which is why I don't hate you guys. I don't
You
hate
sound
guys.
like it.
I just don't
You
want
just said you would kill all of those snowmobile riding.
I did not say that. There's no visual or audio evidence of me ever
Oh,
saying
no,
that.
okay.
I did not.
You didn't say what?
that. I would say what you said. I said.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna fall for it.
Regardless, that is our episode.
Yes, it is.
It
That is
was a
one of
hectic one.
yes. I had a lot of fun though.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun, and I'm sure there's a lot of hate coming our way, and I'm ready for it.
Yes.
Honestly, yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the video, follow us on Twitter at PM Football Podcast, as well as on TikTok at PM Football Podcast. I can never remember.
You sometimes you'll go
Yes.
Twitter and Twitter.
Yeah, I mean Twitter, TikTok. Either way, we're at PM Football. Make sure you follow us, and thank you. We'll see you next week.
See ya.